Whenever I think of using EdTech in my PE lesson, one of the biggest challenge that I face is time, especially the initial phase. The time that I need to build in that routine into the classroom. For example, how do they set up the equipment? Who to in charge of the equipment? How do they log into the app? What do they do after they log into the app? And it can be very time consuming just to teach the student what to do and let them practice a few rounds. So the question I always ask myself is this time taken away from physical activity really worth it? Will it really help to enhance learning in the long run? And will it help to increase the practice time later on? So to help me understand whether this time taken away from physical activity is really a good investment, I'll ask myself 3 questions. And these 3 questions target on the 3 most common problems students face in learning. The first question I'll ask is, can the EdTech help to reduce distractions from the students? Because I notice very often students, when they come into the PE class, they are overwhelmed by a lot of distractions, especially negative thoughts. Many of them have low self-efficacy, they don't believe in themselves, they are constantly worried about judgment from others, worry about making mistakes. And it is very difficult for me to keep going around to every student and try to encourage them. So there was this time I decided to start a routine of exit sleep using Padlet. At the end of every lesson, the students must key in 3 statements into the Padlet. The first statement, what have I done well? The second statement, what have my partner done well? And the third statement, what encouragement I will give to my partner. By doing that, every student in the class will receive some form of affirmation and encouragement in every lesson. And I realized that when I use the exit sleep for a few lessons, the students appear more motivated. They tried harder during the practice. Then the second question I will ask myself is, can the EdTech help the students to understand the concept better? Because a lot of time, I have to teach some of the concepts. It is very complex and very difficult for me to explain to the students. Even when I ask some students to come to the front to demonstrate, they may anyhow demonstrate. Then when the students look at the demonstrations, they may still not understand what are they supposed to learn. So what I did and what many teachers do is the use of flipped classroom. Before the lessons, we send the students a short video, a very easy to understand video, which help to explain to the students the concepts they're going to learn. And when the students enter the class, they know exactly the learning goal and what are they going to do in the practice. So by using this flipped classroom, it really helped to save a lot of instructional time, especially the time when we need to go around and try to explain to every student. And the third question I will ask myself is, will this EdTech help to increase practice time later on? Because a lot of time I realize when the students are practicing and they make a lot of mistakes, because they couldn't see their own action, they don't know how to make the correct adjustment. So because they cannot improve, I see a lot of them spending a lot of time picking up the ball rather than practicing the skill. So what many teachers will do is the use of iPad to video the practice. For example, every group is given an iPad to video the whole group's practice. Instead of using the normal camera app, these teachers use a delay cam app, which show the video 30 seconds, 1 minute after the action was taken. Then when the students were practicing and they find it challenging to see success, they may decide to come to the iPad to look at their own actions, their own performance. And I realized that when the students can see their own actions clearer, they are a lot more active in thinking about how to improve on their practice. Some of them may even think about how to modify the task so that they can see more success. So by using EdTech to help them see their action clearer, the students will have a lot more practice, successful practice, rather than spending their time picking up the ball. So if we are thinking of using some EdTech in our lessons, maybe we should ask ourselves these 3 questions. And if the answer is yes, then I think we should trust the process and really invest the time to build that routine into the classroom.